Hello students, myself Mahima Lahariya. Welcome you all in my YouTube channel, Pacific Chemistry Classes. Students, today's class topic is the oxidative addition reaction. Oxidative addition reaction are just reverse of our reductive elimination reaction. As we know that the oxidation, what is the oxidation means? The losing of electron, and what is the reduction means? Reduction means the gaining of electron. So if we see the word oxidative addition means in any reaction oxidation as well as the addition will take simultaneously. So here what was our addition reactions? As you remember, if we are talking about the addition of a hydrogen to any unsaturated compound, so what product we are getting? We are getting CS3 and CS3 means this hydrogen will get attached, means this double bond will get converted to the single bonds. So this oxidative addition reactions are very important reactions in our organometallic chemistry. So now let us see. So if suppose any complex Ml4 type is there and it is getting attached with the XY. So what happens here? The Ml4, the coordination number here is 4 and it gets increased to the coordination number 6 as these two ligands X and Y will get attached to this complex and as a metal, and the coordination number of the complex changes from 4 to 6. So what are the oxidative reaction? Though is in simple words we can say that the oxidative reaction is addition is a process that increases the oxidation state and the coordination number of the metal atom in a complex. So here the oxidation state in the beginning was +1 and it is here +3. Why this increase in the oxidation state takes place here? Because we know that any metal which is participating in the oxidative addition reaction must have extra electrons, means it must have the non-bonding electrons, and when these any ligand or the substrate we will say this will attack, this reaction will go on. So these two, suppose this is a molecule XY, it can either be a polar molecule or it can be a non-polar. If suppose it is CH3I, and we know when bond cleavage will take place, what happens there? If bond cleavage takes place, CH3 will take its electron and iodine will take its electron. So both are having single electron, and our metal is also having 2 electrons which can be donated to the ligand. So what happens here? If this electrons is given to our CH3, so they can easily form one bond with the metal, and similarly this electron will be shared by the our iodine. So what happens? The metal will easily attach our two entities, means here this molecule they will behave as a anionic ligand. What is the important thing in the oxidative addition reactions? Coming molecule will get converted as a anionic ligand. Why anionic ligand? Because this single electrons will combine and they will form the bonds and they will have the negative charge. If we will separate them, as these both the entities are having their own electrons, they will take away the electrons, so they can be termed as a anionic ligand. Similarly, if suppose this is our non-polar molecule, we will study the oxidative reactions in the following headings: introduction, definition, with the example of the Vaska's complex, addition of the molecular hydrogen, factors that favors the oxidative addition reactions, what are the characteristics of oxidative addition reactions, essential features of oxidative addition. There are 7 points. So oxidative addition of the dioxygen as per your VSKU syllabus, and the alkyl halides reaction pathway. It can the pathways are concentrated process, non-concentrated process, free radical mode, and next is the classification of the substrate. So now let us see, just understand this oxidative addition reactions more nicely. Let us see one example. So here what we are saying, the addition of our molecular hydrogen in the Vaska's complex. So this is our Vaska's complex, that is our triphenyl phosphine ligands. One is carbonyl and this is Cl, chlorine ligand. So here this is a diamagnetic complex, and here these two groups are always trans to each other. So what happens here? This is a metal, and we know that the atomic the configuration of this iridium will be 5d7 6s2. Always a non-bonding electron pair will be there, and in this complex, the complex is a square planar and the coordination number will be 4. But after the oxidative addition means oxidation will take place first. What is oxidation? It's the losing of 2 electrons. So the metal, the iridium, will lose 2 electrons, and this hydrogen, molecular hydrogen, we can say that it will take these two electrons and they will be converted to our anionic ligands. So what happens here? In the beginning, our metal is having the +1 oxidation state, but as it will lose 2 electrons, it will get converted to the +3 oxidation state. So what happens here? Iridium was previously having the +1 oxidation state. The oxidation changes from +1 to +3. So the oxidation takes place, and the addition of these two hydrogen anionic ligands to our complex makes it a more the coordination number will increase from 4 to 6. So these two you have to remember, and this complex is previously 16 electron complex, now it is converted to 18 electron complex. So the geometry also is octahedral. So just you can see how we will count the electron for it. You can just see how we can count easily the 18 electron and the 16 electron. Just we know that the iridium, the configuration is 5d7 6s2, so it will contribute 9 electron. Carbonyl will contribute 2 electrons, and our ppS3 contributes 2 electron each. So and the chlorine ligand, anionic ligand, will contribute 1 electron, total 16 electron, as here 2 anionic hydrogen ligands are added here. So what happens here? This will oxidize the iridium to lose the 2 electrons. So this process is oxidative addition reaction. So here you can count as the 2 more anionic ligands are added, so their charge will be again, so what total number of electron will be 18. So first you have to remember what so we can define our oxidative addition reaction as the addition of 1 electron ligand. 2 means the number of ligand will be 2, means hydrogen was molecular first, now it is broken down, so there will be the 2. So what is this? The addition of 1 electron ligand is called as the oxidative addition. So upon the oxidative addition, the oxidation state of iridium increases from +1 to +3. This is important, and in the 4 coordinated square planar arrangement changes to the octahedral 6 coordinated complex, as our 4 coordinated complex changes to the 6 coordinated octahedral complex. And the low oxidation state is oxidized by insertion of a metal into the covalent bond. So previously the hydrogen, if we talk about our HH, so this is the covalent bond. So what happens here? The insertion of a metal into the covalent bond, and an oxidative addition is a process in which a neutral ligand adds to the metal and oxidizes the metal by 2 electron. What is the meaning of it? Oxidizes the metal by 2 electron means it will take the electrons of the metal. So it's here oxidizes the metal by the 2 electrons. It will take the 2 electrons of the metal, and this 2 electrons will be transferred from the metal to the incoming ligand, and this will break down bonds in the ligand, and they will form 2 new anionic ligand. So what is overall here? First, this ligand or our neutral molecule will snatch the 2 electrons from the metal. It will oxidize the metal, means it will take the electron and the metal will lose 2 electrons. So what happens here? And they form the 2 anionic ligand here, and when the 2 anionic ligands are formed, the oxidation state of the metal changes from +1 to +3. So what happens? What's important here? The oxidation state changes from +1 to +3. So just we can represent this also. The hydrogen will attach either in our cyclic manner, or it can be attached independently. So when this type of molecular hydrogen is added, this is termed as our non-classical way, and this type of attachment is known as the classical hydrogens. So any type of the mode can be followed. Now just we can see what are the main important characteristics of the oxidative addition reaction. What is the main important here? The coordination number increases by 2 units. As we saw in our example also, the coordination number increases by our 2 units. इधर 1 था, इधर कितना हो गया? +3. Sorry, its oxidation state, the coordination number was 4, it comes to our 6. Then second point is our oxidation number increases by 2 units. Oxidation number increased by the 2 units. oxidation states of the metal is low. In the beginning it was +1 and it changes to our +3, and the oxidation of the metal is easier for the electron rich system. So for the oxidative addition reaction, which type of the systems are good? Means which are electron rich system, because they can easily lose the electron for the ligand, and the oxidative addition is favorable for the low valent metals. Now let us see what are the main factors which favors the oxidative addition reactions. That the metal must have the lone pair of electron or the non-bonding electrons pairs, and the complex must have the coordinatively unsaturated, means उसका पास कुछ vacant sites होना चाहिए, means some vacant coordination sites should be there. If the coordination number is it should be less than 6, because if it is 6 only, then where the other ligands will come, because we know that the coordinations, whenever the coordination number is 6, the complex is more stable. So the coordination number should not be more than should not be 6, it should be less than 6. And the ease of oxidation, if we talk about, it increases from the top to bottom in a triad, means the most easily which complex, which metal will form the, which will undergo the oxidative reaction is the iridium. As we know, the size is very big when we move from top to bottom, and the metal should possess the two stable oxidation states which are separated by the 2 units. Means any metals which are participating in our oxidative reactions, they should have the stable oxidation state, and they should be separated by 2 units, means +1, +3, +4, at least they should be separated by the 2 units. And these are the order of the tendency of our oxidative reactions of the various transition metals. So you can note down. So the order then increases from top to bottom in both the, you can see this is our iron, ruthenium and osmium, this is our cobalt, rhodium and iridium, this is our nickel, palladium and the platinum. So in this triad, if we see the platinum second oxidation state have the more tendency to undergo the oxidative reaction. Similarly, it increases in this manner, means the osmium have the greater tendency in comparison to our iridium or our platinum second. So these are the various, so as it is written, the low oxidation, low valent metals, means when the oxidation state is very less, it will favor for the oxidative reaction. So the electrons can be, metal can easily donate the electrons. So one more way for the Vasquez complex, you can also write that reaction in this manner also. Here hydrogen is attached in the non-classical manner. So this is another way. So in simple words, how we can say that our oxidative addition, oxidation number change. Let us see the next. What are the essential features of the oxidative reaction? So what are the main essential features of the oxidative reaction? So first essential features, if we talk about, is that the low oxidation state. So best metals which undergo the oxidative addition reactions are having the 0 oxidation state. Then coordinative unsaturations, means the coordinative unsaturation means the must have high, means the coordination number should be less than our 6. It should not have 6 or above it. Then only the reaction is possible. Addition of the more ligand is possible. Nature of the metal, this is important. So the lighter metal are less basic than the heavier metals. Means if we compare our iridium and rhodium, so which depends upon the type of the metal. This is our Vasquez complex again. So what is the Vasquez complex? It is our iridium, then this is our Cl ligand, this is our carbonyl ligand, and this is our triphenyl phosphine ligand. When it react with our methyl iodide, what happens here? The product form is having the irreversible, means this reaction, when the metal is iridium, the product is, the reaction will undergo completely and it is irreversible reaction. Similarly, if we will take a rhodium analog, means in place of our iridium, we will replace the iridium by the rhodium. What happens here? This reaction will be reversible type. So what is the first factor? First is the low oxidation state. Second is the coordinative unsaturation must be there. Then it also depends upon the nature of the metals. So next point is the nature of our ancillary ligands, electronic nature of our ancillary ligands. So what are these our ancillary ligands? Means there are some spectator ligands which do not participate in the reaction, but they are there. So which type of the ligands will help in the oxidative reaction? Means the electron donating group. As we know that now, metal center, any electron donating group, this will help to is the reaction, and if any electron withdrawing groups are there, they will decrease the electron density, so they will not help the reaction to go easily. Then nature of the addendum. So what is this? This is again an important point. So as we know that steric hindrance word, I hope you all already know, so you can understand the steric hindrance with the help of this CH3 and our tertiary butyl group. So which is having the more steric hindrance? This is our simple methyl group, and if it is CH3, so then our tertiary butyl group is more sterically hindered. So this also affect our reaction. So if we see the sterically crowded addend as a hexaphenylethane are cleaved, as it results in the release of large strain in our C2PH6 molecule. So this is a simple our nickel complex, so any number of ligands you can attach. So when this complex react with our hexaphenylethane, so what's the name of this complex? This is our C2PH6 hexaphenylethane. What happens here when this reaction go? Means our nickel, this ligand had to be attached with our nickel. So what, it's very highly, as this phenyl group is highly means bulky in the size, so there will be a large strain in the molecule. On the other hand, the electronic activation of our carbon-carbon bond in the molecules like dimethyl oxalate and the cyanogen can facilitate the cleavage reaction. Means if in place of our heavy ligands, simple molecules like our dimethyl oxalate or our cyanogens are present, the reaction can go easily. Means this will facilitate the cleavage reaction. On the other hand, if the group is bulky, it will create a large strain in the molecules, so the reaction will not be easily. So next point, it is not necessary to learn all the things, but you must know all these points. So next point is the stereochemistry of the mechanism of the oxidative addition reaction. So stereochemistry and the mechanism of oxidative addition reaction. So what is the stereochemistry? Means as we know the stereoisomers, so there any reaction takes place, it depends upon which type of the configuration the molecule will have, the product for have which type of the configuration. So with the help of NMR and IR spectroscopy, we can study the mechanism of the product formed in the oxidative addition reaction. How we will study which type of the product is formed? Suppose it's again the addition of our methyl iodide to our this complex. As we know that Vasakas complex is IRClCO PPH3, but here we have replaced one phenyl with the methyl group, and when the oxidative addition reaction takes place, it will have 9 possible stereoisomers. So what are the isomers? Isomers have the different steric arrangement in the space. So if you want to take the screenshot, you can take the screenshot of the 9 stereoisomers. Just for the knowledge, you must know all these things. Sometimes the questions are asked. Just we can see the classification of the substrate which perform the oxidative addition reaction to the metal center. Means as we know that there are different types of our reagents na. So if suppose our H2 we can take, so as we know that if we talk about our H2, so it's a non-electrophilic in nature and it is a non-reactive species. So most important for the catalytic applications, this is our very important, the molecular hydrogen. So the non-reactive substrate, it is also termed as our non-reactive substrate, and others are other non-reactive substrate or non-electrophilic are CH bonds or SH bond, NH bonds, SS bonds. Just it's also a big topic, but I have just given some examples. So if you want to write one heading, you can write. So then electrophilic substrate means if the reactive substrates like our alkyl halide, this is important point, and in the MSc it's also asked separately to explain the oxidative reactions in the alkyl halides, our aryl halides or hydrogen. Then example, oxidative addition of our CH3Br to our then Vasakas complex. Again, this is one of the example. So we can just give an intact substrate. Some are intact substrate like our alkenes, alkynes or oxygen. So just these are the 3 points. You can just define them. So sometimes in your MSc syllabus one heading is given, especially that addition of the oxygen. So how the oxidative addition of the dioxygen takes place here. Again we can take the Vasakas complex. So here in this complex, this L is equals to PPH3. This dioxygen, when it adds to this complex, this reaction goes reversibly. Okay, so just we can, as the oxygen will add to it, which type of complex will form? This type of the complex will form just as the dioxygen, another non-polar, which is also like hydrogen, it is also a non-polar molecule. It will add to the phosphorus complex, and here the bond order of the oxygen is reduced from 2 to 1. The bond order of oxygen, as we know that there is double bond between these two, so now it reduced to 2 to 1. The bond order here, it decreases from 2 to 1. So second, if an electrophilic polar molecule like RX, means this is our aldehyde, this is our methyl halide groups like methyl iodide, oxidative addition reactions, it can proceed by SN2 mechanism, by 2 electron transfer, or by the radical, means or by the free radical 1 electron transfer. If it is proceeding by our 2 electron transfer, sometimes this reaction, means the addition of our alkyl halides, can proceed by the, if it is proceeding by SN2, it can proceed by the 2 electron transfer, or if it is proceeding through the free radical way, so it will proceed by the 1 electron transfer. So we can see then the two equation. So first is any complex, this is LNM, these are the lone pair, and when it is reacting with the CH3M, so it will get attached with our, as the our methyl group here, we can show this CH3 as we remember na, SN2 reaction transition state is having the pentavalent, so here carbon is showing the pentavalent, so these are in the form, and it will get converted to our octahedral complex. So this will change to our when this LNM, these are the any number of ligands you can take, and it will get attached in this manner. So this will follow the SN2 mode. Now next is our free radical mode. So as we know that this is our a bond, it is having 2 electrons. When any photolytic mechanism will take place, it will get divided into 2 parts. So the free radical, na, so 1 electron will transfer here, and what happens here, this electron will get attached in this manner, and 1 methyl free radical will be released. This iodine will get attached with the complex, so free radical will form, and then finally you will get the desired product, means the complex will have the both our anionic ligand like CH3 and I. So if the alkyl halides are our substrate, so the reaction will proceed in the following pathways. First is our concerted pathway. So if what is concerted pathways? So the reaction takes place to the formation of a cyclic intermediate. So our RX will get attached, and finally this two, our anionic ligand will attach to form a 6 coordinated complex. This is the concerted pathway, and the product will be cis, means both are on the same side. Next, if it is proceeding through the non-concerted pathway, means there is no cyclic formation. So first this ligand will get attached to our metal, and this will have partial positive and the partial negative charge, and finally this negative charge will be eliminated, and our two products can be formed, either cis or either trans. So cis, both are having the same side, and if the trans, both the anionic ligands will be in the opposite to each other. Next is the free radical pathway. So the reaction of our alkyl halides with the metal complex can also proceed in this pathway. Just this we have already discussed, 1 electron mode. So this, when Ml4 is any complex, it will get dissociated to Ml3 and 1L, and we can say that first this step is slow redetermining step here, and it can form our desired product. It can be either cis or trans. So this is all for your oxidative addition reactions. If you find it lengthy, so try to make easy. How much you can prepare for your exam, that much you can learn. So once again, just we can say that what are the important characteristics of oxidative addition reactions? Any reaction, our coordination number will increase by 2 units, oxidation number will increase by 2 units, and the oxidation states of the metal will also changes from +2, means +1 to +3, and this is favorable for the our electron rich system. So I hope the topic is clear. If you are having any doubt, you can ask to me, and thanks for watching. Do share and subscribe with your friends.